question was,
just going deep in the water.
we trying to figure out why
it's
was
all the way deep in the water now.
it prevalent that so many of our ancestors was not able to read and write.
And look, this thing is actually
And
drowning.
what we're trying to get to is that our ancestors are of the indigenous tribes, right? So, if they're of an indigenous tribe, a different culture group,
okay, that is not funny.
what are they trying to read and write? Whereas though that when this census, this federal census was going around,
all right, everybody stop
and
laughing.
it had listed on there, is this person of color able to read and write?
Look at that. And
What are we talking
this
about?
car is not going to get destroyed.
Is we talking about the original indigenous language and literature, or is we talking about another language and literature?
Obviously, it was another language and literature.
So, how could these treaties and contracts been made up
I've never seen the yellow car.
with our ancestors signing
Yeah, I've never
these
seen the yellow
treaties
car too.
and these documents
Oh my gosh, it's so
if they could not
crazy.
even interpret English?
Real drive.
You sitting up there talking about people who created Native American nations and cultures and sit up there and rope themselves into a culture that didn't belong to them.
Whoa, those are some big bums.
People that sit up there and design a list, which they call the Dawes Road List or the Dawes Act,
Stop sign. You're supposed to stop.
sign themselves into a culture that did not belong to them. If you belong to something naturally, why the fuck do you gotta sign up for it?
Right. That's a fact.
I don't know why. How do you
Why?
see that?
If that's my natural heritage, why do I have to sign up for it? Why do I have to be qualified for
Made
it?
it across.
Wait, Turbo, look. This
That's
guy's
my
doing the
natural
other guy's trigger.
heritage.
Oh, that's so funny. I would do that too. That's
So all that shit from 1898 to 1907, that was the rewriting
Why this guy has to stop the stop sign? You're supposed
of
to stop.
them stealing
well,
our shit, of them stealing our land.
Oh my gosh.
Whoa, look.
They wrote our land off to themselves.
Yep.
Then they wrote it off to the world.
Yep.
People that was coming from around the world as immigrants and settlers came to America based off, they was getting bonuses and incentives just for coming over here and living here.
Yep.
Simon was driving that
Off of
car
our land that they wrote off to them.
Yeah.
Tell them
probably
what was the proposal
Yep, that's
when they
thinking
stood
right
up there
What's peeking
and
oh my gosh.
what was it? They stood up there and advertised the shit to the whole world.
Oh yeah, that was the incentives. That they were sitting up there writing off 5 acres. That if you came over here, if you was an immigrant and you came over here from another country, as long as you lived there for 5 years, you'll get an incentive. Plus the land, the agreement was that you had to live on the land and improve the land within the 5 years, and the land was yours. So you didn't even have to pay nothing for it. That was the incentive. But that's the same shit that they doing today, but you can't do it no more. That's called adverse possession.
Just being a nice guy and he helped him get.
Adverse possession. That's a modern terminology. Adverse possession is when you sit up there and you see somebody's house or something that's been dilapidated and it look like it ain't been upkept. You can go on there and live there as long as you show that you made improvements and go to the court and file for adverse possession. Then you can make up a fake deed. The fake deed is called a color of a deed. You can make up a fake deed and take it to the court and file it as if it's a real deed. That's the same shit they did to us in the whole America. They made up fake paperwork and signed our whole country over to themselves.
It was not no conquering.
No, it wasn't no contract.
No conquering. They didn't conquer nothing.
No. The white man could never conquer us.
Nope.
The white man could never conquer us. All you gotta do is look at basic social life. White man can't out-talk us. He can't be a better athlete than us. There's nothing that he could do better than us. But what he can do is deceive and manipulate, just like he did America and the people that sent it. We sitting up there walking around paying for shit on a land that belonged to us.
That don't make no sense, dude.
It is. And who back it up?
What sense does that make?
We don't have no systems. We don't have no economics. We don't have no policies. We don't have no government.
Okay, come on, Biggie. Let's start
In our what's the name? In our place, on our own land.
Tell them what happened when you try to sit up there and list as a as your
Oh gosh, ouch! Okay,
As a Chickasaw.
or any tribe
So when you
as a colored
so
person.
out of every tribal office I called and went to, every tribal office, the main tribal headquarters is in Oklahoma.
Because you're not letting me in your
Out
bedroom.
of me talking to different nations that's situated in Oklahoma, every person that picked up the phone was a white person.
Now what the fuck is that?
Every person that picked up the phone was a white
You
person.
get attacked by that guy, I'm decreasing my sanity.
When we know for a fact that
abstraction.
the story of the past is that we know for a fact that white people did not come from America. That this is all colonialism and immigrants coming over here. How is it that the immigrants is sitting up there claiming indigenous tribes and nations and they're immigrants? And we know for a fact that they came over here.
Wait, yo, what
How is that?
Out? Something's like coming out of the corner of the room. It's like a black.
Not only is this a situation where as though we got coercion and you got fraud, but also it's a situation of mental illness.
Who is that? Is that Paul?
We got a group of species that's sitting up there impersonating us. They sitting up there impersonating ceremonies and all kinds of shit.
Okay? Oh gosh, I really don't feel.
We got a species that's impersonating us. They sitting up there
Now where are you?
hiding our story from us. They won't allow for us to claim our traditions, culture, or our heritage. And it belongs to us.
Oh yeah.
Y'all don't see nothing wrong with that.
I'm gonna stop.
But y'all walking around here classifying and y'all identifying yourselves as African Americans. And don't none of you come from Africa.
Oh, Chuck.
Don't none of you come from Africa.
Here we go, Pinky. My
Y'all come from right here in
America.
America. Your ancestors fought great wars against these people and conquered these people already.
Great. Well, my
And somehow they still wrote themselves into our story and wrote our land to themselves. How the fuck do you grant our land to yourself? Then create systems, laws, and policies to protect themselves in it from us ever recovering it again.
Yo, that shit
But y'all
crazy.
asking for reparations and y'all asking for money. Y'all still playing into the system that they designed to keep you oppressed.
Yes.
They're not gonna give you shit. They already said that your reparations is the penitentiary and it's welfare. So what you gonna do with that?
What do you mean? What are you talking
You fighting
about?
for the
You
wrong
feel silly and
things.
Weird.
You asking questions about the wrong things. The problem is, like you said earlier, all these years, for over 500 years, when these motherfuckers first colonized our shit, we've been doing everything but addressing the real problem. The real problem is, why are you motherfuckers here?
Right. Real shit
Because
though.
we're abstraction
Real
monsters.
rap.
We can attack